Bashem Shai Bash Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to title this video. I'm not trying to make this quick. Let's see where the spirit takes me, but it'll be relatively quick. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, How Many More Receipts Do You Need? How many more receipts do you need? And the Most High is not dealing with most of you camps out there, especially if you're saying that the mark of the beast is something other than what GMS says what it means. And you're going to get a wake-up call. You'll see it. You'll come to the realization that the MOTB is the micro C-hip, as GMS been saying. And you're going to be shooken up because you're going to go to you're going to see it. It's going to become real to you. You're going to experience a epiphany. You can look that word up. You're going to have a eureka moment. You can look that up. And your master teacher might say, because you'll bring it up to him, he might say, yeah, this is the chip. We can't take it. Or go ahead and take it. That's not the chip. If he says that, we know that he sold out. Know that he's getting marching orders. We know that he's getting a script. I was going to say chip. Yeah, it's true. Come with that script comes a chip. So this is, and I was watching another video put up by the head of Las Vegas GMS camp, which was Karatazar, the elder Karatazar. And I watched this one, and there's a spirit, because we done put up these videos. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do it. Let me go ahead and do this. See, these videos don't got to be super long. Now when we do our videos, for the most part, we're constantly reviewing. We're getting more evidence. And we're constantly reviewing and we're constantly analyzing. Let me do this. I'm going to find a video, because the video that the elder head of Las Vegas, he did a short video, which I was going to do a video of that, and then I saw this video that the elder Yashawamba put up. Give me a second. I'm still alive. No, I would say I washed clothes, I did a bunch of things, so I'm just tired, you know? So I'll probably see you, yeah. Oh, I'm good. Thanks for calling. All right, I'll probably see you tomorrow. Okay, take care. Bye. Yeah, no big deal. Let me see. Okay, let me go over here. Come on now. Okay, now I'm going to go to my notifications. Bear with me for a minute. GMS was always right. You know, that's why all these guys that come up against what we're saying even make mockery, like Captain Zazariak. He says our high priest is Alex Jones. Which I laugh at that, because you're gonna see it too. You're gonna see it. And if you're one of the elect, you're gonna which I believe a lot of them are, you know. You're not elect because you're a member of GMS. You're elect because the Most High made you the elect. And maybe the Most High is not ready to wake you up. Let me go see if I can find this video. Let me see. Damn. I mean, I can go right to his page, but I thought it came up on my notifications. Okay, give me a second here. Bear with me for a minute. Okay. Okay, this got to be it. IUIC Deacon says the COVID SMOTS was a test run to the MOTB, but forget the counsel his leader gave. Okay, let me open it up. I don't like when the Ragamuffin come up. That's why I slowed it down.
Some of y'all how to say this? Some of y'all will consent to that forced religion. You understand? Some of y'all will consent to it. How I know that?
It is fair use.
How I know some
so
of
you're
you...
saying the false religion is the MOTB, which if you use your brains and really analyze what's going on with us constantly putting up videos, you wouldn't be saying that. You would confront Bishop Nate about this. You would say this doesn't make any sense that it's a false religion because it says you can't buy or sell. So anytime, let's say you go to BJ's, how are they going to know whether you follow that? Are they going to ask you, do you believe in the white Jesus? What else? Do you believe that the Sabbath is Sundays? Did you celebrate Easter? That's the mark to them guys. They're saying that, and it's every time they change the way they break it down, they sound stupid. They literally sound stupid. So he's saying that the MOTB is actually a religion. And they're dead wrong. They're dead wrong. They're dead wrong. Well, how sure are you about this? I'm not 100% sure. I'm 1,000,000,000% sure. Did you hear that? What if you're wrong? I'm not wrong. I'm not. But what if you are? I'm not. So take that question out of the conversation.
You all ask me how I know that. How you know that, Deke?
See, now this man right here, diligent brother, but he's blindly following his leader. You know? Remember Paul says study to show thyself approved, right? Not listen to a teacher and everything the teacher says, no matter how ridiculous it sounds, just follow it. That's not in the scriptures. The church of Berea, I always use the example of the church of Berea. The Apostle Paul praised them over the church of Thessalonica because they fact-checked everything that Paul taught, and he praised them for it. He didn't get mad at them. Don't you know the Lord come to me? You better listen to me. No. He praised them for fact-checking him. None of these guys in the IUIC fact-check what Nate says. And for that matter, none of the guys in the ISBK fact-check what General Yohanan is saying, because they think that they truly are appointed by God.
I know that. Okay. I'm going to tell you all how I know that. Hands in the air, everyone that took the COVID-19.
Now, they encouraged their people, you can go ahead and take it. You can take it if you want to. And that's also in the video right here. Let me see. Okay, it says, is that what the leader of IUIC initially said? No, he said you can take it. In this video right here, I happen to have that on my Odyssey page. He said take it if you have to. So these are two different thoughts.
Okay. All right, brothers. Y'all don't be scared. Yo, listen. I'm going to show you all why we got to become stronger. Right? Now, the COVID-19, we told you all know that shot could get you killed, right? But we let you all know if you all go do
They
that.
didn't say that. They said you can take it if you want. If you got certain jobs, you don't want to lose your job, go ahead and take it. And when Nate saw the one nurse, the Jake nurse, that was suffering from the Bell palsy, he changed his mind. He said, I don't take it. I wouldn't take it. Before that, he said, no, go ahead and take it. He said, when we go to Africa, we got to take certain shots of certain diseases in Africa.
That's on you. But we let you all know, listen, not to do that.
He said, that's on y'all. If y'all take it, we're really not telling you to take it, but we're not telling you not to take it. If you get, sick and you die or whatever, you get terribly sick, he said that's on y'all. But you encouraged to go ahead and take it. That's what Bishop Nate initially said. The woman, and this right here, this is where he speaks about the woman. There's a nurse. There's certain jobs that you got to take it. This woman is a nurse, and she don't want to take it, and they said she's gonna, they're gonna, fire her from a job. So not too many, in a roundabout way, he said, well, if you're in that situation, go ahead and take it.
That you could get,
So they're comparing it to the jump shot to the MOTB, which the jump shot was a precursor for the MOTB. It was a trial run for the MOTB because they know that there's a small percentage that ain't going to take it no matter what. But they know, let's throw some percentages out there. They know that, so we know we got to worry about 20%, but the majority of the people are going to take it. And then the way they're going to present it, a lot of people are going to take it. And it's not a religion. You're not going to go to BJ's and they're going to ask you, when does the Sabbath come in? And you say Saturday, oh, put that stuff back. You got a whole cart of stuff, put it all back. You're wrong. Did you commit adultery today? Yes. Okay, good. You can buy your stuff. You got one wife? And you ain't commit adultery? Huh? Oh no, you can't buy this stuff. You see how stupid it sounds? When you analyze shit, you see how stupid it is. And all you guys out there, and women too, you ain't exempt. All you men out there that came into this truth back in the One West days that went back into the world, all of you are doomed. All of you are doomed. Every last one of you, you're going to all take the Yum Yum, Ramayallah, all you guys. All you guys that fell off and went back into the world, you're going to all take that micro C hip and you're all going to be destroyed. And you're going to stay your black asses here in America too. Because you're not going to know where to turn.
That thing could kill you.
What thing can kill you? The jump shot. And they didn't say that. I use the story of one of the brothers that worked in the job that IUIC worker, I believe the IUIC guy was a manager, and they both knew, the one knew that he was IUIC, the other one knew that he was GMS, and they were talking about, taking the jump shot, and they were told that, you got a X amount of time. If you don't take it, we're going to have to let you go. And the brother came to me, and he said, do I take it? I said, I wouldn't take it. And those words, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take that shit, But they said I'm gonna lose my job. I said, well, you know what? Trust in the Most High, there's always another job out there. You know what wound up happening? All those people that they kicked out of jobs, they had their numbers and they called them back. There was a sister, Benjaminite sister, that told me that she took it. Told me that she took it and because she wanted to keep a job. There were other co-workers that said they ain't gonna take it, and they fired them, and they wound up calling them back and asking them to please come back to the job. And she said she didn't want to take it, but she didn't want to lose her job, but she shouldn't have took it any damn way. So the same thing is gonna happen with the MOTB. If your teacher, your master teacher tells you to take it, you should know that this guy is sold the fuck out. And this must be right at the door. You know, it must be a couple of months away because the Spirit got us doing videos on this. I wasn't thinking about doing the MOT video, but I saw this video put up by GMS Vegas Sit Down 144K, and then right the next video after that is this video. I'm sorry. Which was put up by Remnant Say 144. Prophecy Watch, Path to the MOTB. Is that what the leader of IUIC initially said? Nope. He said, take it if you have to.
To still have to work during the Passover in these troubling times.
So I'm not going to play this. I'm going to skip that. You can watch this whole video. I'm not trying to. Why didn't he play it? I want to go back to Deacon Malachi. Let's go back to him.
The government made laws, right? The government said, force its population to go get vaccinated. Otherwise, you can't work. You can't go into certain stores. You cannot go to the doctor. You can't go to the dentist. You could lose your job.
Yeah, when that came, my dentist that I went to, they had to close the office for, I don't forget, it was 3 months. And the only way you can see a dentist, you would have to go to another dentist that was authorized for emergency. Like if you had to pull a tooth, you had a bad toothache or something like that. But like cosmetic stuff like that, getting the teeth clean, you couldn't do it. You had to have. You can only see the dentist on emergency thing. Well, I was scheduled to get a wisdom tooth pulled, and when I would call my office, it was a pre-recording that the office is closed until further notice. If you have an emergency situation, you can call this number, and it was a totally different doctor. And then you had to come in there. You had to wait. There was only so many people that can come in the office at one time. You had to wear a mask.
And you could end up losing, then you lose your job, you end up losing what? Your house. You can't make money, you can't buy yourself.
You know these people that are Jakes that are doing well, got a nice house. They may have a house in New York, another one in Atlanta, maybe another one in Florida, something like that. And they got money invested and so forth. Now, if you don't take the thing, you're gonna ultimately lose all of that. You're gonna lose everything. You guys that fight and say, yeah, GMS was right, I'm not gonna take it. When you miss a couple of meals and you don't let the truth, your faith, kick in, then you're gonna wind up, taking it. A lot of these women are gonna take it. I see a lot of men, a lot of weak ass men weak ass, punk ass men is gonna take it. Everybody that fell out, the truth that came in them doors, through them doors in One West, all you guys that went back into the world, you're gonna be confronted with taking the micro C hip, and you're gonna wind up taking it because you really don't believe in, and you don't believe you're an Israelite no more. Matter of fact, you're an atheist. You don't believe. When you turn your back on the Lord, that I would never turn my back on the Lord, on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because I fear what the Most High could do to me. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You don't fear him. That means you don't believe in him. You're just going about life, and you're gonna run into that brick wall, and we're gonna laugh at you when the Most High destroys your ass, destroys the work of your hand.
Right? You got a sister, she was going to college. They tell her, listen, you can't come to the college no more unless you show you have been vaccinated. So the sister went and she got vaccinated. I told the brother that was calling her, I said, yo, that was a test. How far would you go, brothers and sisters?
Yeah, but wait a minute. Was it Nate that said go ahead and get it? There's nothing wrong with getting it. When we go to Africa, we got to get these different shots. So ain't wrong with it. But then he switched up when he saw the nurse, Jake Nurse, come on YouTube. A bunch of videos came up of people that took it and claimed that they were suffering from a Bell palsy. Even the singer, what's this guy from Canada? I can't remember his goddamn name. He'll come back to me.
Because brothers and sisters that try to hold on to their job, do you know some people say they rather lose their job than to get that vaccination? And they didn't. It's similar. That was forced vaccination. And those of y'all that don't want to lose your house, you got your college and you want to have that, you got the American.
He's talking to the people like, you took it, you was going off, now you got to deal with the consequences. The head of IUIC said, no, go ahead and take it. There's nothing wrong with taking it. And not so many
can dream and so forth. And you went and you got that vaccination. If they bring the mark of the beast right now, some of y'all might take it and say, God will understand.
Well, how do you take it? They teach that if you sin, that you can sin now. There's going to be a time where you can't sin. The door's going to be closed, but the Most High, the white man's going to make you sin. He's going to make you keep the Sunday Sabbath. He's going to make you eat pork. So they keep changing it. Meddle not with him that is given a change.
To still have to work during the Passover in these troubling times, especially nurses, because they are often left out when people speak about first responders. You're absolutely right. Now, I do want to talk about occupations. There's certain occupations where, if I'm not mistaken,
basically he's saying, he said this before the deacon said what he had to say. So they changed up again. So he's saying, if you got a certain job, you got license for that job, you spent, you went to college to get this degree, and this is a good money-making job. And not too many words, he said, go ahead and take it. He said, take it if you have to, on the video that I have on Odyssey. So let me do this. James 1 says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay, listen. Let's see if he says something.
When I said the mark of the beast, I'm talking about false worship.
So they're saying the MOTB is false worship, meaning you got to bow down. Oh, they might have a picture of Caesar Borgia. You go to BJ's, the guy got the picture of Caesar Borgia. When you make your purchases, They're going to pull out the picture of Caesar Borgia. You're going to have to bow down to the picture of Caesar Borgia and kiss the picture of Caesar Borgia. If you say I'm not going to do it, put the groceries back. We can try this later. We can try this tomorrow. You come tomorrow, you're going to have to kiss Jesus 2 times. So this sounds, with a person with a rational mindset, they would say these guys are fucking stupid, man. Let me get the hell up out of here.
You understand? Forced worship, where they set it up where you cannot buy certain things. You can't buy a house. But man, I've been saving, working so hard to try to get a house. But listen, if you do not follow this system, you can't get that house. You understand? So some of you all...
Hey, look, if you buy a container of milk, when that chip comes, you need the chip to buy the milk. A Snicker bar. A pack of Oreo cookies, you need that chip.
Hey, remember what Christ said, you got to be willing to lose everything. You know, so some of you, you brothers and sisters that fall for that test run, it means you got to strengthen yourself.
Well, wait a minute. You said, let's let Nate say what he got to say.
They still have to work during the Passover in these troubling times, especially nurses, because they are often left out when people speak about first responders. You're absolutely right. Now, I do want to talk about occupations. There's certain occupations where, if I'm not mistaken, you have to get vaccine on certain things. I know the military, 100%. If you don't want to get any type of...
Everybody in the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, any of those military forces, they're going to all have to get it. And I believe they're getting it now. I don't know if it's semi-voluntary, but there will come a point where all police, NYPD, you got to get it. You know, if you're down in Florida, you might say, I'm tired of New York, I'm going to Florida. All Florida state police, local police, county police, city police, or whatever, you're going to have to get it. If you're nurses, if you're doctors, you know, it's going to go by classes. Then the old people, then the babies, you know? And everybody's going to have to get it, or you won't be able to participate. You won't be able to be on the grid. You're going to be off the grid. You're going to have to make it on your own. You get sick, you need, in order for you to go to the emergency room, you're going to need that chip. It's not sin. It's not saying you committed adultery again today and you worship the Sunday Sabbath and where's a picture of Christ so I can kiss it so the doctor can work on me. He got a spell over these guys.
Vaccine, you are...
Scripture clearly says, cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
Of the military, and I believe in
and make it flesh his arm. This is arm with flesh on it. Had to throw that in there. And look at this. This jughead, he gonna take it. He's a part of the 2/3.
And the medical profession as well, because why? You're around sick people all day. So I'm saying, I remember a sister was calling and crying. She's a nurse and she didn't want to get a vaccine. If that is it, hey, we get vaccine. We go traveling. We had to get the yellow fever shot and some other things. Get the vaccine if you have to. If you don't want to, then leave.
Oh, there he says it. He said it, get the vaccine if you have to. The deacon is saying something completely. If you were weak, you know, you took it, and you're going to take it again.
Leave certain professions. Just leave certain professions, all right? So that was his first paragraph.
Okay, so you're going to give you a line of scriptures. Now let me go to this video right here. So this prompt, when I came up to this point, 8 minutes in, this prompted me to do the video. Then, as you know, I had to go back to find that video. So you can watch this whole video as well. So we're in the 8-minute, 9-second seconds into a 42+ minute video. Prophecy Watch, Path to the MOTB.
Tribe of Zebulon over there, but see if they show it.
What's your name, sir? My name's Saeed. You know about Prospero? I've never heard. Are you from here? Yeah, I'm from here. What are you working with? I'm a tour guide. We could exchange contact.
So the people, the you know, the natives to that land are over there suffering. There's another one when they showed a bunch of them.
5 o'clock, and they get to study grammar, math on computers, and this is free to all the kids in the community of Prophet Shrub.
Where are you from?
I'm from Prophet Shrub.
You're from Prophet Shrub. Okay.
So while the poor over there are just suffering, okay, this is what these elite, you know, billionaires are doing on that island.
Yeah, so this is the implantation lab where people are actually putting these things into your body.
Okay.
So this is the needle. It's big, but it's not horrible. It doesn't.
This is what John, the apostle, saw on the Isle of Patmos. He saw like a little movie, and he saw the needle, he saw the thing going in a man's or woman's arm, and he recorded it.
It feel great.
It's bigger than I thought.
Yeah. This is like the main location people do it. So you pick up the skin, you roll it to get out all the muscle, and then you depress the lever, and that's what comes out. And you'll be able to see it. So that's all.
That's a charagma. The delivery system, the needle, is the Karax. You ain't going to get it if you don't look up certain words. And if it's in the New Testament, you most likely going to go to the Greek word, or you're going to go to the Greek word. If it's in the Old Testament, you're going to go to the Hebrew.
That's the entire size of it.
It's obviously in like these sci-fi, like dystopian movies.
Yeah.
It like involves stuff.
Inside the illegal billionaire paradise with its own laws.
Like that. Is there no part of you that feels like this could be like a slippery slope into like crazy science stuff?
The biggest fears I have are about a future where you have a subscription service to be able to see or use a prosthetic arm or access your implant, where you don't own what's inside of you, where it's not considered part of your body. That's what scares me.
Who's getting implants?
I'm getting a few. Brandon's getting one.
Do you have one already?
No, this is going to be my first one. So
first one?
it's quite exciting, honestly. Yeah.
You feel excited or nervous?
Both at the same time. Yeah.
Man, I'm getting dizzy thinking about this. I actually might need to sit. I don't think I can look at...
Yeah, me too. I need to sit as well.
We're witnessing a man get a chip implanted in his hand right now. Not feeling 100% about this.
Yeah.
So you haven't done it, you haven't done it.
No, I wouldn't either.
I mean,
He said I wouldn't.
everything is weird initially. We're just happy they are running the experiment for me. Yeah.
I'm happy to look at it far away.
Yes. Very happy.
So you can look up this video inside the illegal billionaire paradise with its own laws. As you can see, microchipping is happening. So again, it's beyond Elon Musk. Again, the media has a way to marginalize your viewpoint of what's really happening worldwide, all right? Because this is the new wave of where things are moving, okay?
Your boss may keep track of your performance and productivity. And one Illinois lawmaker says some companies are looking to help improve that with microchips. Now he's pushing for a bill that would ban employers in Illinois from requiring employees to implant microchips in them. He says he hasn't seen any instances of this happening in Illinois, but it is in other countries.
This is just an effort to make sure that as the technology continues to improve, as this debate continues down the road, just want to make sure that employees have their privacy right. They shouldn't be forced to do anything.
Right.
He was set up to do that because he's going to be, when they give him the memo, unless they said act like you against it. Trust me, if he's against it, they'll get rid of him. They'll delete him.
And human error is at the forefront of, Trump's campaign. All right.
I remember somebody told me the story about the elevator, the invention of the elevator. The first elevators and sky rises in New York City, these 50-story buildings, when they started building these skyscrapers, they had elevators, but they had the elevators were cargo elevators. If you had furniture, you put in the cargo elevator. Then they started telling people you can get on the elevator too, and they were scared to. And it took some time before people got used to getting on. I remember as a child, there was cargo elevators, and you had a man the elevator, and he would have to time it. He had like this lever. He would have to time it, and sometimes he'd be a little off. Then he got to push it up. Then he would open it. You would have to open the gates. Then you have to open the door. I remember all that as a child. Now you can go in the elevator and hit the button and go where you got to go. But in the beginning, people, if they were working on the 25th floor, they said, "No, I'll walk up the stairs." So eventually, like I said, they started using that. Same thing with the MOTB system. At first, people are going to buck up against it. But they're going to have to take it in order to be a part of the grid. It's about staying on the grid.
And once they get done with what they're trying to do and pass the necessary laws from the anarchy and chaos, okay, after the
Now, I told the men, and when closing the camp, I was going to let them go. They wanted to talk, so we were out there for about a good 20 minutes. Sometimes we out there for an hour, but they wanted to talk because there's a lot of things happening. The attack on the Israel attack in Iran. Now they're making Israelis look like the good guys. They initially attacked. It was a sneak attack, and they're making them look like the good guys, manipulating your mind with the media. But anyway, what the hell? It was something that I said, or they said, and I kind of added on to it. Damn, I forget what the hell it was. I hate that. It'll come back to me.
Billions of people, go back to the spirit world from what they bring. Okay, in order to hold a regular job, in order to keep up, you will have to merge yourself with machine. All right, and even before that,
the basic thing you can do is get the chip in your hand. But ultimately, you have more options when you got the chip in your head. The majority of the people are going to take the chip in their hand. A certain number of people are going to take the chip in their head. That's the super deluxe chip. But the chip in the hand is pretty much all your credit information, your medical information, your bank account, all your information, your arrest record, whatever, your driving record, everything's going to be in that chip. So when a police pulls you over, They might do a face scan. They might ask you to stick your hand out. They get the scanner and give you all your information right then and there. Oh, you don't have a suspended license or nothing like that. And they might let you go. They might give you a ticket, and the ticket will be in your chip, and then you got to pay it, or you can say, let me go to court, or if somebody caught you on camera. So there's a lot to it. But it's going to be a big shakeup when it comes. And these other camps that come up against what we're saying here at GMS, they're going to consider it. The ones of you that have brains, working brains, and the ones of you that the ones of you that are of the elect. If you're of the elect, you're going to ultimately see it, and you're going to leave the teacher that you came up under.
Okay, certain jobs, all right, because of human error. Let's say you go back to working at home. Some people are still working at home. They're going to want to track what you do on a whole nother level. See? And this is the type of surveillance that's being set up now. I was going to go into, some of the things that's happening, in the background of all of this chaos with Palantir, which Trump signed a deal with Palantir, which Palantir was surveillance technology, AI, is being used, all right, to blow people to smithereens, all right, over in Palestine, okay, by those small hats, okay, and that's coming here.
Palantir, the company Palantir, I believe the CEO is Peter Thiel. There's an article where Trump is going to pretty much make him the king of D.C., the District of Columbia, and D.C. will be like a 15-minute city. That's another thing that's going to eventually come to the 15-minute cities, where everything is for you in a 15-minute, 20-minute radius, where you don't need cars.
To the Americas, but we'll get into that. I'll do a news and prophecy, Lord willing, tomorrow or sometime this week, getting into that. But in this one, I just wanted to show you that this technology of the micro C-HIP is here. It's speaking. As Habakkuk said, at the end it shall speak. Let's get that real quick. Let's get the book of Habakkuk. So
now we should know Habakkuk. What I will do is I'm going to go to Habakkuk 2 myself, but I'm going to go to the NLT. The part where it says, he that run that readeth it, it's a little bit different in the NLT. I like the way the NLT breaks it down. Habakkuk 2 in the NLT. NLT. I will climb up to my watchtower. That's what we are. We are watchmen. And what we see is, like, for example, we see the MOTB is coming. So we got to tell the people, oh, they're going to hit you with the MOTB. Don't take it because you're going to be destroyed. Blase, blase. And stand at my guard post. So a prophet, which, I was going into Palantir, right? CEO Peter Thiel. The word Palantir really means, loosely translated, rough translation, it means to see far. Or far see, to see far, meaning to see in the future. So the word Palantir means prophet, seer. There will I, let me see something. I will climb up to my watchtower and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what Yahweh says and how he will answer my complaint, because we're complaining about getting the hell out of here, right? The Lord's second reply, because the prophet is telling, why is this going on, Lord? Why is this going on? Then Yahweh said to me, write my answer plainly on tables, which are prophecies. You see the prophecies, write them down, so that a runner can. Now, a runner, I think about the Battle of Marathon, which is a battle that took place with the Greeks. I guess they took. You can go to that. You can go to the Battle of Marathon. I believe they were fighting the Persians, and they won the battle. So, a runner had to take the message to the king, and you had kings. You had city-states, which are provinces. Like everybody, like you have New York State, New Jersey, California. They have governors, so they would be considered kings over that state. So that's how the Greeks had it. They had city-states. So this guy had to run because they didn't have cell phones. They didn't have beepers. They didn't have regular phones. So the guy had to run to give the message to the king that we won. And it was a little bit more than 26 miles. That's why you have a sport running event called Marathon. It's named after the Battle of Marathon. You can look it up. And as the story goes, he makes it right to the king's feet, and he says victory, but he says it in Greek. He says Nike. So he said victory, and then as the story goes, he dropped dead. But he told the king, we won. Okay? So that's what I think about. Because their message has to be given to the king. They're on the battlefield. We defeated the enemy. We're shackling them up. We're going to bring them in. So you got to send a runner to bring it to the king. And, we defeated them. Because like I said, they didn't have computers, laptops. They didn't have smartphones. They didn't have beepers. They didn't have phone booths. All right? It says so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. A runner can carry the correct message to others. Somebody saying the MOTB is sin in all of its form? No, that's not the correct message. The MOTB being a micro C-HIP is a correct message. So we're running with it. That's why we haven't changed. This vision is for a future time. It describes the end. The end of what? The end of this man's system. And it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. So now let's come back over here.
They're on that island microchipping. Imagine what they're doing behind closed doors and how they're using the indigenous people to that land as, subjects to test, experiments before they actually, it's way more happening. But this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. And speaking of the vision he was getting ready to receive, okay, but that's happening now. Okay, when you read this vision he received, it's speaking of the times we're in now. Okay, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. Okay, and as the Lord said to tell Ezekiel to tell Israel, all right, the days are coming, oh you rebellious house, where I'm going to say the word and it's going to come to pass. All right, the word for speak is pawach, right? To speak, to breathe, to puff, to excite. So the prophecies are exciting people on the earth to do things, man. okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shabbat Shah is speaking, okay? It's living. Breath represents what? You alive, life. We see the prophecies living through the effects associated with end time prophecies, man. Okay? Let's go back.
The bill would create a process for employees who choose to have an implant. If the bill becomes law, employers who violate it could face civil penalties.
A medical breakthrough. Yeah, so there's new advanced technology helping people with disabilities redefine their lives. ABC's Andrea.
All this time, different camps told you Israelites not to worry about the microchip. It don't matter. Well, what if your job comes to you with this? If you haven't been rooted with the necessary doctrine, what are you going to do? All right, you're going to bow the knee to the image of Baal. Okay?
Fuji explains.
New technology is helping people with severe physical disabilities interact and do everyday things simply by thinking about them. Rodney Gorham, an ALS patient who can't use his arms or his voice, can now use Wi-Fi connected devices to control devices in his home, from picking his favorite playlist to turning on a lamp, adjusting the air conditioning, or running a robotic vacuum.
Meeting started.
Even feed.
This is a miracle. Okay, at the end it shall speak. Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. It will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. You're going to have to live by faith, because speaking against this technology is going to be speaking against people being healed, speaking against their science, speaking against, all right, the right for people to, you know, forward themselves, health. Okay? That's what's coming.
Feeding his dog. Gorham is one of 10 people who've received a surgically implanted brain-computer interface device powered by artificial intelligence. The device decodes signals from his brain activity and translates them into commands.
This is the first time that we've used the device with layers of AI. The NVIDIA technology takes information delivered using Apple Vision Pro, and it identifies digital devices that are in the home environment, and then the BCI lets you make choices.
That BCI, or brain-computer interface, was developed by a company called Synchron, which has been conducting clinical trials.
The goal with this technology is that people who are dependent on other...
And what did they use to conduct those trials? Monkeys, pigs, mice, roaches, humans.
People can restore some of that agency, some of that autonomy. If you'll see in the demo that Rodney's wife texts him, she says she has to leave and do some things, and he's then in his own home environment interacting with the phone, with the fan, with the dog feeder, with a whole range of activities that he can now do on his own.
Elon Musk's company, Neuralink, is developing similar technology, recently announcing a second person with a spinal cord injury has been implanted with a brain chip, which allows patients to control technology with their mind.
There's a company that's been around before, Neuralink. It's called Neurotech. They're further along with this prophecy. I mean, the receipts. I mean, how many more receipts do you need? Either the Most High is not dealing with you, he blinded you, or you sold out. Either or.
Mind.
Elon.
See, and you have to understand the serpent is more crafty and subtle than any other beast of the field. Beasts represent nations of people. The serpent seed, the biblical Edomite, he's very crafty. Again, they're pushing, this talking point of healing. Okay, but what is the true purpose of all of this AI and microchip business that they're talking about? Is to enslave your ass, man. Okay? These people are a bunch of savages. Again, let's just type in how many how many animals died during Neuralink and experiments. These people are crazy. Neuralink indeed conducted extensive animal testing, and several credible reports indicate that approximately 1,500 animals, including pigs, sheep, rats, mice, and non-human primates, have died as parts of the experiments since 2018, and we know that it's way more than that. Okay? You think they're really telling you how many animals are dying? But the fact that any of them are dying, all right, is letting you know, okay, because that's who they use, all right, to test this stuff out on before they put it on humans. So these people are absolutely crazy. And in the book of Habakkuk, it tells you that this man will be operating like that.
Well, it doesn't mean that they're crazy. It just means this is the Most High's technology. This is Most High's experiment. The Most High just put the spirit on this man to push it. This is just a part of prophecy. So it's not so much that they're crazy or they're wicked. This is the Most High's chip, and this is a test.
Okay.
See, one thing about Esau, the elite Edomites, they're doing the will of the Most High. Are y'all doing the will of the Most High? They're doing the will of the Most High. When they make this MOTB mandatory throughout the whole planet, they're doing what the Most High wants them to do. The Most High set them up to do these things. The Most High set up the Roman Empire to take down the Israelites and set up an empire to fulfill prophecy. They're not crazy. They're just doing what the Most High created them to do it, programmed them to do a certain job, and they're doing it. And give him a hand. Give Esau a hand for doing an excellent job doing what he's doing. He's doing the right thing. The problem is you Jakes ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Esau's supposed to be doing this. Hey, Vocab Malone's supposed to be doing what he's doing.
It talks about in verse 17, and the spoil of beasts which made them afraid because of men's blood. You're going to have to pay for that. Violence in the land. And then it immediately.
So you might say, well, if the Most High made him do it, why is the Most High going to pay him back? Because that's just the way it goes. Okay, this is the Most High's movie.
Habakkuk 2:18. What profit the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it? That's exactly what this is. Okay? And in the grand scheme of things, when you get Revelation the 13th chapter, this is an idol being presented unto you as a savior. Revelation 13:6, and this ain't medical information, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. We always go into those things, but again, if you take this, all right, you're putting his name on you. You enter into a covenant marriage with them. But again, this word charagma, all right, and the Koine Greek is what? A stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hands as the badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah. Okay, there's going to be an oath you have to take to enter into the new world. The mark branded upon horses, all right, for ownership. We've always went into that. Why are horses and cows branded? All right, to identify them.
By the way, this is the best definition of the word, translation of the word charagma. It means thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. I mean, you had a man had a chisel or some type to engrave stone or wood, or a bracelet that you have, and that's in Acts. The only time the word mark, which is charagma, is mentioned outside of Revelation, right? G 5482. The only other time it's mentioned outside of the book of Revelation is in the book of Acts. So you read that. Let's see if he gets into that. So the word charagma is a physical thing that's going to go into your physical head or your physical hand.
Yeah. All right.
And like I said, the conclusion I come to is that these guys are teaching contrary to what we're teaching. They sold out. They sold out.
Right? A thing carved, sculpture, graven work of an idolatrous image. So this would be a physical mark, a physical thing. Okay? You got people, yeah, spiritual. Esau's not a spiritual man. He's a carnal man. Our mark is spiritual. It can't be touched. It can't be altered. Their mark is carnal. Okay? And our mark is ultimately being covered under the blood of Yahweh Shai and exempt from judgment, having the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai written in our foreheads from the very beginning. So the mark, the MOTB, is an idol. All right, and what did our big brother, our forefather John say about idols? Keep yourself from idols. Let's get the book of 1 John, or was it 2 John? 1 John 5:21. Little children, keep yourself from idols. This is an idol. The juicy jab, an idol. See? But it's being presented into you as being normalized through the talking point of healing.
Musk's brain science company has implanted a device into a human for the first time. The unidentified person received a brain chip implant Sunday, and Musk says they are, quote, recovering well. U.S. Food and Drug Administration has given Neuralink clearance last year to conduct its first trial to test its implant on humans. The move is a critical milestone in the startup's ambitions to help patients with paralysis and other neurological conditions. Neuralink says the brain chip is designed to allow people to control almost any device just by thinking.
From Melbourne to the streets of New York, where Australian Professor Tom Oxley leads a team of experts developing this device in the quest to create a whole new field in medical science, turning...
Notice ain't no Jakes. Jake may help, get into these fields and help, but who's at the forefront of it is Esau. Edom.
Hey, so anyway, with that, I'm going to say Shalom. Yeah, I urge you to watch the rest of this video and then the previous video that I set up right here. You watch both of these videos. Let me see what's on the notifications here. Okay, I'm going to watch this in a minute. RFB, which is Richie from Boston. Richie from Boston. See what else is up there. Anyway, Shalom, on to the next. One day closer to the downfall of this devil. Shalom.